Hey everyone, Jason Morgan, editor of the AAPEX Live publication. We are here at the show. It is opening morning. The show just opened a little bit ago here, and I thought who better to walk me through the show floor than Amy Antenora, editor of AMN, who is joining us from the Babcox Media Studio in Akron, Ohio. Amy, it is great to connect with you.
Hey Jason, welcome to Vegas. How's it going so far?
It is good, busy. We had an early morning with the keynote session, which I'll get into a little bit later, but I'm ready to hit the show floor if you're ready.
Awesome, I can't wait.
All right, well, here we go. Of course, I had to start in the Babcox booth for you. So I had a great reception last night. The Road to AAPEX car was in the booth. Had some great turnout for that. Everyone was excited that it made it to Vegas. And yeah, it was a great reception last night.
That's fantastic. I saw some photos. It looked like there was a big crowd. That's great to see. After the pandemic, everyone's excited to be back in person and reconnecting. Did you get kind of a sense that, everyone's calling it the industry's homecoming? See a lot of hugs and handshakes happening?
That's right, for sure. It was packed in here. Let me turn you around. We're about to go in the show. I'll just turn you around here. But last night was packed, lots of energy, really great to see. Everyone was super excited. All right, we're going in here. I think you need to scan me in. Go ahead, sir. Okay, we are through and we are in. So we are at the show floor. Like I said, it just opened here about an hour ago.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. The first Road to AAPEX banner at the AP booth.
AP Emissions, yeah, they were a big part of getting Joe and the Caddy to Vegas this year. So thanks to them, and wow, they have quite the booth. That is really impressive.
Yeah, serious.
Jason, is this your first time at AAPEX?
Yes. Do not hold that against me, but that was also why I was very excited to get you on the phone here to walk me through the show, because it is my first time, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're no stranger to
where I need to go here.
Yeah, you're no stranger to trade shows, I understand, but this is probably a lot different from some of the other ones you've been to. Bosch, another stalwart of the industry, I see there.
Yeah, we'll head over here. I'll give you a little bit of walk around there. Wow. It is busy.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say, at the keynote session this morning, AAPEX leadership announced that attendance was at 94% of 2019 numbers. So pretty much back to pre-pandemic numbers here.
That is great to hear. And the show floor just opened, and I see quite a few people in the booths already. So that's great to see. And I know, these suppliers, this is a major investment, creating these beautiful displays, and a lot of time and effort goes into them. So, I mean, it's really kind of cool to see what the end result is of all that time and creativity. I see Valvoline, another great long-time aftermarket industry stalwart, as I just said. And they're doing some interesting things too. I believe they just came out with a line of fluids for EVs. I'm sure you're going to see lots of stuff about EVs on the show floor today.
Yeah, and it's a big talking point. AAPEX leadership again earlier this morning teased that they will have their EV report here coming out later today, indicating the opportunities that exist in the aftermarket for EVs. They're very bullish on the content on the cars of what will be available on EVs, and they do not see any sign of slowing down as the world kind of transitions to electric vehicles. They did note, though, that gasoline vehicles still have, they're still seeing a long tail to 2040 on service needs there as well.
Looks like you're at the KYB booth now, provider of shocks and struts. I see their display. Lots of people checking things out. Very cool.
Yeah, I gotta kind of navigate through people here. Bear with me here. It is busy.
See if you get photobombed, maybe.
I have gotten a couple waves. Everyone's excited. You mentioned the energy earlier. And there is a palpable energy here. It does seem, again, going back to the reception last night, as you mentioned, lots of hugs, lots of handshakes, lots of people reconnecting, forging new connections. It was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, that is one of the, it's constantly talked about as an inflection point within the industry that makes it so unique, the fact that it's such a people-driven business. That's what keeps people in this industry such a long time. So the people that are out at Vegas, many of them have been coming for years and years and have made lifelong friends. And then there's people like you that are seeing it for the first time. What are some of your impressions so far?
Yeah, so first time here at AAPEX, but full disclosure, when I'm not doing the AAPEX Live Daily, I'm the editor of Fleet Equipment, which is a heavy-duty truck brand, and so that's where my aftermarket knowledge really comes from in that world. And it's a lot of very similar topics. We're also dealing with the coming of electric vehicles. We're talking about data and e-commerce, right? Two other big talking points here at the show already. So there are a lot of similarities in what the aftermarket is dealing with, and the idea that there is still there is huge value in what the aftermarket offers, and the availability of choice, and being in the consumer and even the commercial world's corner to be able to get vehicles back on the road. So
absolutely,
lots of parallels there, but definitely some different segmentation, and it's fun to learn about.
Absolutely. I see you are approaching First Brands now. They have a pretty massive booth with all the number of brands under their corporate umbrella: Fram, Autolite, Anco Centric. Those are a lot of well-known names in the industry. Ray Bestis, another one. Brakes, that is a huge, highly competitive category within the aftermarket. I see you just showed some brake rotors a second ago. There we go. Very cool. Yeah, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot of talk about the copper-free braking, which we're approaching the deadline for all brake products to be copper-free. I think it's by 2025. So a lot of the companies are very proud to denote that they are ahead of the curve on that. Ray Bestis, I know, is one of those companies that their products already are copper-free. So that's great for the environment. Great selling point for the industry as well. Oh, I see you're at Lightens. They are a sponsor of our AMN Drive Time podcast. Just throwing that out there. Looks like they have a great display as well. Lots of people in the booth. Bando. Advix. Spectra Premium. Let's see what they have going on. They just recently came out of a restructuring and have transformed themselves into a mobility solutions business. They've added that to their name, Spectra Premium Mobility Solutions. They were just acquired by Turnstile Capital, so they've got some investment banking behind them for some exciting new innovations. I'm sure they're going to be making some announcements about that today at the show.
Still a lot going on here. We're stopping by MPA. They've got like a city block, I feel like, here.
MPA, Motor Car Parts of America, out of California. Entering their booth.
Oh, look, there's Joe Keane. What are you doing?
Joe Keane, he made it to AAPEX.
He made it to AAPEX. I'm talking with Amy Antenora, back at the studio. What's going on?
Hey, Joe.
You never know who you're going to run into.
Okay, so now we're back at MPA. Looks like passing through. NOCO, they make battery chargers, which will be a very handy thing to keep in your trunk this winter if you are a Northeasterner.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I bought 2 of these all it took was one time for my battery not to start at the zoo with my kids one night, and I bought two of them.
Totally worth it. I mean, that's such a great portable product. It just makes sense if you're driving in winter climates. Okay, you were just walking by the S&P booth. If you want to maybe turn around. There we go. Standard Motor Products. A company that's more than 100 years old, run by the Sills family. Eric Sills is the CEO. Larry Sills, his father, is the chairman, I believe is his title. They have a whole host of different product lines. Huge part of the aftermarket. Yeah, so Cardone, based out of Philadelphia, was started as a family-owned company as well. They do a lot of starters, alternators. I believe they are pretty heavily involved in the remanufacturing sector as well, which you may run into MIRA, which is the Association for Remanufacturing here at the industry. I think that's going to be another topic we're going to be hearing a lot more about as the world looks to become more environmentally friendly and sustainable. I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about reman in the coming years. So maybe look out for that. Hot Shot Secret. Chemical companies are also a massive part of this industry. Lubricants, oils. Continental, Lube Guard I see there. Scheffler. Denso. It's interesting, you've got Scheffler, Denso, Continental, all in close proximity there, Jason, as you're walking the show floor. These are all companies that have transformed themselves from hard parts suppliers into mobility solutions providers and are really ahead of the curve when it comes to technology and innovation for the car of tomorrow. So that's always pretty neat to check out what they have going on in their booths as well. See some brake products. As I mentioned earlier, the brake category is a highly competitive one. Epicor software solutions, that's another big part of the aftermarket industry for both shop owners and distributors. Epicor is one of the primary software solutions providers that complies with ACES and PIES standards so that everyone can get the right part at the right time more easily. Odyssey batteries, that's another big topic for the industry right now, especially as we talk more about EVs and the differences between ICE and EV batteries, the recycling, acquisition of raw materials for batteries. Lots of things to talk about there. NTN bearings. They have going on. Oh, we have Autel. We were talking about EVs earlier, Jason. Autel just launched recently Autel Energy, which is a division devoted specifically for the EV market.
Yeah, very cool. Let me see. Oh, I think I see it back there. Let me see if I can go sneak a peek.
Great.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. Very cool.
So yeah, plenty of Teslas here on the floor as well. Oh, that's a Mustang. My mistake. How dare I?
Oh, wow.
You don't see many of them in the
Mustang.
wild. Yeah.
And they even have a charger there as well. I believe that's one of their product offerings. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, very cool. Look at that. Amy, how big of a deal is it to have EV chargers on the floor here and see so much EV presence?
That is definitely unique. I can say with all honesty, I have never seen that before. So well done, Autel. Very cool to see that. It'll be interesting to see, you know, as this gets implemented on roadways across the US.
ADAS. ADAS is another huge conversation piece here today.
Yeah, you know what, I just wrote an article for our November issue of AMN on ADAS. You know, with all of the legislation going on with autonomous vehicles, there's a lot of confusion in the motoring public as to what is a fully autonomous vehicle. There's a lot of confusion. They think that ADAS is fully autonomous, which, as anybody that has a newer car knows, that's a great way to keep you safer on the road, but that's not fully autonomous. So they are looking at creating some more education and legislation around it. There's the Society of Automotive Engineers has levels of automated driving from 0 to 5. Right now we are mostly seeing level 3 on the road today. So you'll have, you know, lane assist, you've got your steering assist, electronic stability control, emergency braking systems, things like that that are pretty commonplace and even mandatory on cars today. In terms of I think it's the electronic braking is mandatory on all cars today. But so we're seeing some interesting trends in terms of motoring public's understanding of ADAS and autonomous vehicles, but it's definitely a safety benefit. Oh, now you're at NGK and NTK. They are based out of Japan. Yeah, they are actually undergoing a name change beginning this next year, I believe in April. What were you going to say, Jason?
Go back to the autonomous vehicle thing too, and one of the things that I'm starting to talk a lot about in the commercial world with automated vehicles, and specifically in the aftermarket, is the amount of redundant systems that are needed for autonomous operation, right? You need 2 braking systems, you need 2 electrical systems, you need 2 engine communication systems on these vehicles. So it's one of those things where when you start duplicating all those components on the vehicle, that's a huge opportunity for the aftermarket suppliers and manufacturers.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's also, you know, the fact that it also increases repair order tickets as well, which is a great thing for the aftermarket. There's an additional level of complexity we're seeing, so there's new training for technicians. A lot of the companies that supply this have been really doing a great job of creating training videos, webinars, modules to keep people educated on what it takes to safely repair and maintain vehicles with these technologies on them.
Right. And here is Transtar. Big in transmissions. They have some transmission training here at the show. And they were played a big part of the road to AAPEX.
Okay, it looks like you are approaching the Mann Hummel booth. Mann Hummel, based out of Germany, owns the Purelator and Wix brands. Huge filtration business. Filtration, you know, with the pandemic, I think people have taken on sort of a new understanding of airborne viruses and cleanliness in the air. So we're seeing some pretty cool innovations in terms of cabin air filters and technologies that help keep drivers and their passengers inside of vehicles safer and healthier. So I think that's a pretty neat trend that we're seeing. In addition to, you know, oil and all other kinds of filters that these companies offer, but I'm pretty intrigued by how the pandemic and our understanding of airborne viruses has created this new market opportunity in the industry.
Oh, I'm going to turn you around for sure. And you know what? I mean, still being a newbie myself, one of the coolest things I think is just seeing the amount of change and the really open arms to some of these different technologies and opportunities that are coming around. I know it can be difficult with new things coming down the line. It can seem like a challenge, but there are plenty of opportunity to go with it. And I think we're seeing that here at the show today.
Totally agree. And I'm excited to hear your perspectives when you come back, Jason, being that this is your first time at the show. But I appreciate you bringing me on the show floor. It's been a lot of fun.
Definitely, I appreciate you taking the time. I couldn't have asked for a better guide. I have a meeting to run to, but I will see you back at the office.
All right. Have a great time in Vegas, Jason. Thanks again.
Thanks. See ya.